So now we have the film back installed on the camera. So when you need to open the film back to change film, you don't use this knob on the bottom like you would normally with your 120 film back. Just release the catch here and open this like you would a 35mm camera. Okay, next step. Take your 35mm film. 35mm film comes in a cassette. Bit of film sticking in here is called the leader. There's a notch on the leader here. When you drop this in, the exposed nub on the cassette goes on the bottom. The notch on the film goes on the top. Okay. In order to drop the film in, I need to flip the knob up and pull it so I can pull it down out of the way. That allows me to drop the cassette in. Once the cassette in, push the rewind knob back up. Right, film comes across. Now, if you feel on the little take-up spool here, there's these little teeth that are going to catch the sprocket holes. There. Wind that a little past that. Okay. Oops. Next thing we need to do is set the film counter. So I'm using a panoramic back, so this little slide here goes to the right. See, if I slide it to the left, it exposes the counter on the end. If I slide to the right, it exposes the counter on the P side of panorama. Now, if you notice at the top here, there's these little thumb wheels. That allows you to turn the counter so that, oh, there it is. If you can see in the window now, there's an E. So I close the back, and we start winding. Okay, now this little window here allows you to see a full revolution. There we go. Dots lined up in that window. I can see the 1. Now your camera's ready to shoot. I guess what I should show you is how this works as you advance the film. So let's pretend I'm taking a picture. Picture's done. Now you're going to advance the film. So the little white dot disappeared, and when it comes around again, there it is again. We're on frame 2. And there's not a number for every frame, mostly because there's just not enough room. So what you see is there'll be a 1, and then there'll be a dot, and then there's a 3, and the counter wheel is kind of like that. So you just have to kind of watch, see where you're at. I believe with the panorama mask, you will get 27 frames, and with the 35mm film mask with a standard mask, you'll get 36 frames, which is pretty much on a 36 exposure 35mm film roll. So that's pretty good. And anyway, that's how you use the 35mm film back on your Dyno F+.